What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Why Not Us podcast.
Hey,
your favorite host, Griff, Sen.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We missed you guys. I ain't even gonna lie.
Yes, we did.
We missed you guys. I'm so glad you decided to click us, listen, tune into the podcast. Every time that you do, we greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely. We thank you for always, he said, thank you for supporting us. I don't think that we ever imagined it to reach as many people as it has. And it's really been connecting with a lot of people. And we're so proud of the conversations that it's been off-putting and who we've been able to highlight. And, when we talk about the icon of the eyes and just that. And we want to continue to grow our community. So thank you again for that.
For sure. Definitely. Yeah. Definitely. This podcast got legs, man.
Absolutely.
So, you know what I'm saying? One of the first things we're going to do, we're going to start off with our highs and lows.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I can go first. You can go first. What we thinking? What we feeling?
Okay, I'll go first.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go first.
What's your highs and lows?
So, my high, I definitely would say that a while ago, I had actually did a walk, a pancreatic cancer walk.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it with my sister, and it was such a high for me because it felt like that I was doing something bigger than myself. I think sometimes we are always trying to do things that, gratifies us, or like, how do we, do things, but it's so important to pour into other, just things that is so much bigger than you. So for me to get to have done that with family and see everybody, it was such a big impact, and it happened all around the world. Like, it was in Atlanta, and it was in all these different places, and it was just really, really amazing just to see that and to know it was for a good cause.
Mm-hmm.
So that definitely was a high of mine for sure, to see that I can do it. And it actually was, I feel like 2 hours. It was in the morning, and
it was a 2-hour walk?
I think so. I have to go back.
My gosh.
But it wasn't that bad, and we did it, and it was filled with children and kids and dogs.
It was a nice day?
It was a rainy day.
Okay.
But it got nice at the end. But
I still think that's poetic too.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So with that, but also with that came a low of mine, which is just grief.
Okay.
Grief is just something that is never going to go away. You just have to learn to adapt with that person not being, there in this realm of life. And so for me, grief has been an up and down thing. I'm sure anybody can relate that. It doesn't get any easier. You just kind of learn how to just cope with it, or, adapt with it and do life, without that person of, who has passed on, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think it was really good too, because it's like grief. I feel like one of the things with grief, you need company, you need people, and just like everyone being there for the same cause has to be like a very, very good, cool moment. It's for sure. Like anything that helps. Yeah. So I was very glad to see that when you had went.
Thank you. Cool, I did tear up though when I was signing we had to do little signatures and stuff. It made me emotional, and I was like, all right. Get it together. But yeah, what about you?
Man, my highs and lows, man. Jeez. I think my biggest low is, I don't know. I feel like I've been kind of getting antsy with my day job. Kind of just all right now, we got inflation, we got, everything costing more money, but you ain't making more money. Things ain't really adding up. I'm sitting here all right, I kind of want to move somewhere. I want to go somewhere. The expenses is expensing, but the income ain't incoming sometimes or whatever like that. So it's just kind of just thinking, I know a lot of people feel like you don't make as much money staying with a company as you do, zigzagging. So I've been kind of going back and forth with that. My high though is that this is the thing that kind of keeps me. It's I've been traveling a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Been traveling, going different places. I just did Jacksonville.
Nice.
By the time this episode comes out, I'll do Washington, D.C. So it's it kind of just ain't that bad. It's traveling for work and just expenses paid. So that's my high. Just getting back into that. And I think that part of the job is definitely fun. I enjoy it for sure.
Privilege.
Yes.
More of the perks.
Yes, definitely a big
for
perk.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's dive into the icon of the eye.
The icon of the eye for me is no other than Tina Knowles. And I hope everybody would know. If you don't know, that is Beyonce. It's Beyonce and Solange's mother. Tina Knowles is great for so many different things. She started out as a hairstylist and designing the clothes for Destiny's Child and being a part of all just the different things around the music. But now she is stepping into her own light, and now she has wrote a memoir, and it's called Matriarch. And I have it, and it's really, really beautiful. I highly suggest if you are a mother, if you are a child, if you are raising a daughter, a son, whomever, or you're just curious about her life and her highs and lows of life, I definitely suggest you check it out. It's so beautiful the way that she wrote this by herself. She, I think people were pitching to her already to write a book, and she waited, and she did it. And she talks about all these things growing up in the South and making it, and all these beautiful things, the lows and the highs and the in between. So definitely shout out to her. Her book is actually #1. It's a bestseller right now. So it's definitely doing a lot of numbers, and I'm so proud of her, because somebody typically she wouldn't really, I feel, talk about a lot, and now she's laying it all out, and it's such a beautiful journey. So shout out to Mama Tina, as we like to call her, Tina Knowles. Shout out to her.
Yeah, I feel like they don't talk about too much over there. So just for to y'all be let in with a whole memoir.
Yeah, it's
I feel like y'all getting fed.
Yeah, and the Audible, she's doing the audio.
Oh, she does the voice.
Yeah,
too.
and it's just you can hear the tones, and if it's sad or if it's happy, it's just beautiful. So
what's the process of that? Like, how many hours you gotta sit here and just like.
And like the water breaks.
Yeah, you definitely gotta have some water.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm interested.
That's pretty cool.
Thanks.
So I feel like we're getting down to that point. We're gonna go into our main topic of the time, and we're talking about grind culture. I just feel like if you have been following New Chronicle Productions a little bit, this is a topic that we talked about in the Work Hard and Never Settle podcast pretty early on. But I think it's a very important topic that we're going to bring back around and just give our new spin and maybe give a more creative spin on it, basically about creativity. But like, I feel like a lot of people just focus on the grind. Like, I feel like a lot of people just like to look busy.
Oh, yeah.
Just like the perception of being busy, because busy seems like you're important. Busy seems like you're productive. Yeah. Like, a lot of people just are so focused on like, I'm working, grinding. Yeah. I'm really glad we picked this topic, because this has been something that's just been kind of like on my heart to like express about or talk about. I even wanted to make a poem about it, because like literally I'm like, people just glorify the grind so much. It's just like, at what cost? And what reason? So how do you feel about grind culture in 2025?
Well, I just feel like, firstly, how I feel about it in general, like, 2025, but I just feel that it creates such an unhealthy pattern and cycle, especially for the newer generation. Grind culture has always been there, like forever, in many generations, but I feel like right now it's been such a thing of working until you feel like you have nothing left to give. And though that is important about work ethic, it also is, like you said, how much are you going to give? Because it's like grind culture is just so like, you are not eating at this point. You're not sleeping at this point. You're not even checking in with yourself. And people say these things like, waking up at like 4:30, or like, it's just all these things that I hear and I see, and it's just not a healthy mindset. So I personally don't think after a certain point, it's just not good. No. You should have work ethic. You should have drive. Right. You should have, consistency. You should be hard on yourself, but you should not create this cycle of never ending, stopping and grinding and pulling out this and doing this. And it becomes such an unhealthy thing. And it becomes a toxic thing and toxin thing on the body, the mind, everything. And I don't know why people glorify it so much.
I have reasons.
It's dangerous.
I have reasons. I think the biggest reason why people glorify the grind is comparison. People are always looking at what people have already accomplished or are accomplishing at their age. Social media is a big caveat of it. Big, you know what I'm saying? Just, it's so easy to look at someone else. I don't even know. They live in Montana. He might be younger than me. He might be into film like me, making films like me, has a production company, all that good stuff. I can look at what Joe Smo's doing in Montana. I'm like, why am I not doing that? Very quickly, way too fast. I feel like if you take away social media, if you go back in time, maybe 30 years, people didn't have that, not as bad as it was, kind of like grind issue, because you really couldn't compare as easily as you could now. If you were the only, I don't know, let's go back 30 years ago, you was the only musician in your town, the only people you can look to is like what people like Motown or like people that's like making it or doing it already. It wasn't as close and as easy to compare. You can really just see like other people and be like, all right, I want to make it there one day. And they just kept working. Now it's so easy to compare and look at what other people are doing. And that's why people are like, man, I got to do it in my 20s. I got to work hard in my 20s so I can rest in my 30s and I can retire in my 40s.
Yeah.
Who said that's your plan for your life?
Yeah. I also, to side with that, I feel as well, people are trying to reach the pinnacle, like just in general, like people are trying to reach this pinnacle, one, but they're also trying to reach the pinnacle of something so fast, at such a vast space and spot. And I feel like, I heard this from Michelle Obama, and it's like, she was just saying that young people, they're working this hard, they're doing all of this, is because they're trying to reach the pinnacle. And the reality is, there really is no pinnacle. It's just what you think that is pinnacle. And it's just like, it's just life. Life happens. You try to put goals for yourself. But I think we're trying to break this glass ceiling, and it's, people think there's nothing above the glass ceiling, which it is. It's going to come new challenges. It's going to come new different things. It's going to come. There's going to be a new glass ceiling to break. And I feel like it's very dangerous for us to keep trying to reach the pinnacle and be perfect and reach 100. And it's like, there's going to be another 100. There's going to be another perfect. And how
another
far,
journey,
right? There's going to be more journeys and more waves you're going to have to push through. And I think that people feel like it's only one pinnacle of something, and they're trying to reach it very fast, and trying to outdo people. Like you said, trying to compete, and you shouldn't be doing that other than yourself. You should be wanting to compete with you, looking at your old versions of you, looking at your old past projects, your old work, and compete with that, opposed to
just trying to see what everyone else is doing. Is just like, all right, well, like I think everything's a race.
It's not, and it's this whole thing, because you just said it about your 20s. I don't know what this thing is about. This is off topic, but on topic. This whole thing about your 20s. It's your 20s. Relax. It's okay. That is what your age is for, to get older, to get wiser, to get more
you can't stop
embodied in your craft, and hardworking, and etc. But I don't know what this thing about getting something, before I reach 30, like 30 is not old, people. Like, I don't know what that is about reaching the top so fast and at this age and at this rate, because my friends and because my peers. Aren't you tired? I would think somebody would be very tired.
Yeah,
like,
it's just
trying to compete with the world, basically. And then you look at influencers, and then you look at not even just your regular people, your peers. You're looking at celebrities. You're looking at influencers that now have Netflix deals or Twitch deals, and it's like you're trying to reach their pinnacle, opposed to setting your own standards. And I think I have an issue with that. Like, do you feel like people are trying to be grind culture because they have their own standards, or is it the world or society standards?
I feel like it's both. I feel like people work so hard and grind so hard, and this is not just creativity wise, but just in general.
In general, yeah.
For their own standards, to provide something that they haven't had. Or like, you know what I'm saying? Let's say you didn't grow up well off, right? You know what I'm saying? You had a different family upbringing, or you just didn't get the things you got, or, you want to work hard, so you're not in that. Right? So it could be your own standards, but also there are a nice population of people who wants to work hard because they want what they got. They want what's going on over there. It's not even like they wasn't necessarily not well off or not. They just, Calabasas, Beverly Hills. I want that life. I deserve that life. I think it's a mixture of that.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a dangerous game to fall down that rabbit hole because it's just like it's preparing your progress. I don't know if we ever told y'all like what NCP. We'd be like New Chronicle Productions. That's NCP, but then also internally, NCP also stands for Never Compare Your Progress because it's like that's just the thief of joy. Comparison's the thief of joy. So that's been our 3 like letter mantra too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I think that's a dangerous game for sure. But I think it's a mixture.
Yeah, I don't know. Tell me what you think. I also think it's a dangerous game when people already embody that thought process. They kind of like pass these things on, or like they almost do like tips or tricks or ways. They kind of pass these grind culture on to others, to young people or to the world. Or you'll hear people be like, no, you gotta do this. Like you'll hear these like, what do you call it? Like motivational, people are like, they take on these motivational videos or words of affirmations to people. And it actually can kind of create a space of unhealthiness, if you will. Because again, you have ambition, you have, work ethic, then you have grind culture. So I don't know. What's your thoughts about?
You can work hard. There's a difference between working hard and grinding.
Yeah,
I think
you don't want to grind all your life.
Yeah, I feel like you can work hard a lot of times in your life, right?
Right.
Grinding is working hard and for an elongated period of time. Yeah. That's like constant. Think about like when you think of grinding, think about materials. Think about like sandpaper. Just think about what that is. When you grind, like steel, grinding against steel, something comes off of that.
And I got one better for you.
Yeah.
After a while, the sandpaper.
It
diminishes.
Less. It diminishes.
So it's like, what do you think that's going to happen to you? After a while, you're grinding, you're going to slowly
you're not going to be
deplete.
who you were.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of making it and you're not who you were?
That's a really big
it's like
thing.
You constantly grind, you're going to fall apart. You become brittle. You become a shell of what you were.
Yeah.
But I just think that, bringing it back to a creativity standpoint, the grind, you can look at it different ways. You think about like social media, you think about YouTube, and feel like people, you got to be consistent. You got to post every day. You have to grind. You have to think of new ideas.
Like that.
I agree with you. They got a point. Like, don't get me wrong. Anything you really want, you have to show up for constantly.
But it's how they say it. It's like it's like living or like it's like breathing or not. It's like suffocating or like not. It's just like the way that people.
Why are you sleeping?
Like I can't sleep.
Yeah.
If you sleep after 7, like can I get rest? I'm sorry. I don't know. It just kind of that type of grind factor and how we speak about it, that can become unhealthy.
It sucks because we live in such a, and I also continue to blame social media. We live in such a what have you done for me lately world. So if you think about, we have regular time, right? 7 days is 1 week. If I go and see you, if I don't see you for 7 days, it's not that long, just like a little week. If you are a YouTube personality and you do not post on nothing for 7 days, that is a very long time in the internet world.
Yeah, it's like
Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Where are you at?
3 p.m.
So it's like you can be. It's a lot of here today, going tomorrow. You can be easily forgotten. So I understand why people say you got to constantly post, constantly show up. But also it's just like
it's robotic.
You are not showing up. You're at autopilot. It's just constantly just like I said, it's that grinding. You're being a shell of yourself. It's hard. It's hard to find that balance.
Yeah.
It's really hard to find that balance.
And I think it can be a balance of it. You just have to find it and you just have to know that exists. If you don't know that there's life outside of grind or your work, then I just feel like then there's no reason to do either. Yeah. Because you have to go live a life. You have to go take a break. You have to go cut the camera off. And I kind of really want people to do that more, especially in the youth space and the Twitch space and the streaming space. Like I get it, like when we have the 24 hours or whatever, the 7 days, and it's like cool because that's a thing that never been done before. But eventually, the cameras have to come off. Things have to kind of calm down, and you have to reset. Basically, that's what I feel. And if you don't reset, you just I don't know. You're just going, like you said, spinning on a wheel.
Yes.
Constantly. And it's like very robotic. And after a while, there's no authenticity. There's no real.
The joy come out of it.
Right. How can people connect with your music, with your art, with whatever it is? People can't connect to you because at this point you're just like throwing. And then let's say you're throwing all your work. People don't have time to soak in anything. You gotta like give people a minute to like soak in your work or to take a moment to think about it or have think pieces or to come back.
Don't anticipate it.
Yeah. Give an opinion or comment or I don't know. Yeah.
There's a such thing as oversaturating.
It can become overstimulating.
I feel like if I'm a music artist and I drop a song every week, like, don't get me wrong, like, your true core fans, they're gonna rock with you, they're gonna like that, but like,
I'll be like, but
it gets to a point.
But if you're a true fan, you're gonna be like, dang, just for me, because you're gonna be real. I'm a real fan. I'm gonna be like, dang, why they dropping so much? Like, are they about to retire? Are they running out of stuff? Are they good? Like,
oh, so you're not even thinking about the art no more. You're thinking about what's up with them as a person. So
like, are you running out of things to do? Are you okay? You about to retire? Like, are you cool? If somebody's constantly giving you work or constantly giving you things to consume, I would be taken aback. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, there's such thing as oversaturating. You gotta let people anticipate. You gotta let people miss you. Like, not too much though, but like let people like miss you because it's gonna, when you bounce back, it's gonna hit way harder as opposed to back to back to back. Like it's just, you know what I'm saying.
And there's something about that mystique that is missing. In a lot of things that people are just there all the time. Like you're there all the time. You're doing this all the time. And there's something about that mystique or that, oh, we don't know what they're doing. Oh, we don't know what the element might be. And now we know everything. Now we know from Monday through Friday, you have this going on. It's like, why do we know your schedule? Why do we know all these things? It can be overstimulating as well as you over-consuming people.
Yes.
For people that's taking in that art, it can feel overstimulating.
One question I have is like, why do people feel like they want to be seen as busy? Like, what does that fulfill for you? I feel like it might be like a little bit of like an overcompensation.
Oh yeah.
Of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, if I'm seen as busy, people think I'm busy. Cause sometimes I like to be seen as busy.
Me too.
I like to think that people think I'm busier than what I am. Sometimes I'm busy.
Because it's like a cool factor. It's like,
it's like,
busy?
yo, he working.
Okay, yes.
Like she working, like she grinding. Like I don't know what it is about that.
It's very much perception. A lot of things are based upon not really what we're doing, but how people see us and what we're doing. And a lot of it, I think it could be like flex a little bit, like, oh, I'm doing this, not intentionally, but sometimes you'll hear people like, oh, I can't do that right now. I'm doing this or I'm doing that, and it's like, okay.
You making a film?
Yeah. So sometimes it can kind of be for your own. I think it could be also internally, like kind of you're trying, like let's say you're not as busy as you want to be, but internally you kind of want to almost make yourself believe like I am a busy person, I am a productive person. So why not already just spew that out? Why not already just say that I am, even if I'm not that busy? You get me?
Yeah.
A lot of it is self-esteem. A lot of it is that. And pouring into ourselves. And if we seem lazy, if we seem unproductive, then I guess we just are unproductive and lazy versus being busy. And you don't always have to be busy. You ever like text a person and they're like, oh, what you doing? Or how are you? Busy. Like, it's like, are you always busy?
Come on now. You can respond back to my iMessage game. You can.
That part, and so I definitely don't think it's about anybody but yourself. But in turn, you just put it on the other person or put it on perception. That's what I think.
Yeah, I just feel like looking busy, it look cool, but like, it's just like at the end of the day, what is looking cool as opposed to just like, being yourself and being like true. Yeah. Like people can think you're busy. Nah, just like be like I ain't doing nothing right now. What you want to do? Like whatever. I feel like that grind culture, people just think you're working. Yeah. What's the point?
And you know what? This is what I do. Like in my personal friendships and stuff like that, or if I'm hitting somebody up, they hit me up with something and they're like, oh, I'm not busy. We'll try to not more so motivate ourselves to be busy, but like, oh, okay, like kind of in a way, it's really strange, but in a way, kind of talking to them and in talking to them or helping them with something, it's more a collaborative effort. It's really important, I feel like, to incorporate your friends into something, or, you know, if you are not busy, incorporate them or have something be natural to where then it becomes this, everybody's busy, everybody's working on something versus like, oh, can't talk, I'm busy right now. When you guys can just naturally hang out or naturally talk, and it can kind of fold into, you don't know what it can fold into. Connection, opportunity, room for growth, room for ideas, flush out things, opposed to just busy culture. And, you know, I think everybody wants to also do grind culture by themselves, by the way.
Yes, that's very true. Well, to your first point, that gave me an idea. I feel like grinding will separate you. It will definitely like turn down any potential opportunity ever. Like, let's say you working late night on this painting, like you like, yo, I told myself I'm gonna get 25 paintings done this month. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with having goal standards, ambitions. Your friend hits you up. Hey, like, are you free this weekend? I got a little pop-up. One of my friends having a pop-up for like clothing. You're like, nah, I'm grinding right now. I'm working. Like, no distractions. Little do you know, there's an art, you know, dealer there that you could have ran into or you could have met, or you can't shut yourself down from opportunities and potential things. It's because you're so tunnel vision and focused on like the grind. I gotta do this. Like, cause you never know what you could be like missing out on. Yeah. I'm not saying that don't mean like, all right, don't edit your videos and go to the club or something like that. I mean, anything can happen anywhere. I honestly feel like what's for you is going to be for you. I say this a lot. So like, whether you are, okay. So like, if you're talking about the biblical principles, faith without work is dead, right? So what's going to be for you is going to be for you, but yeah, you're going to have to work for it.
Yes, you are.
But like, I feel like, you know, at the end of the day, like, it's going to happen when it's going to happen. It doesn't matter. Like, you just like,
no matter
posting.
I like that you said that. Alignment is very important. It's something to always know that you have to be in alignment in whatever that is supposed to be authentically for you. You can work, but also like, let's say if you coast and doing a little work, the alignment is still going to be whenever it's supposed to be. And it's important not to rush the natural progression or natural ways that things are supposed to go. And we're so always worried about like rushing the process. Again, I said that earlier, rushing to the pinnacle, rushing to this vast place instead of, you don't know where that could lead you, that business opportunity or that meeting, or, you know, you go to that, you know, art show or what can happen, but you're so worried about the grind and you don't know, you might miss out on something. So I think with that being said as well, don't try to get to the top by yourself and grind by yourself. You can grind with others, and maybe others can show you healthier ways to grind, to take a break, to, you know, get out of the chair, go into a different, you know, atmosphere, or get out of your desk, get out of your room, open some blinds and get some sunlight.
You ain't gotta do all the driving. You can take some turns. Somebody else can
take the wheel.
Take the wheel. Yes. You can look out the window. Like,
coast.
It's all a journey. Yeah. It's all a journey. But like I said, don't lose your focus. No. But also, you don't gotta burn yourself out. Because let's say you continue to grind. You posting every day, 3 times a day on YouTube for some reason. Working just to get noticed, right? And the second you get noticed, that's what people expect from you.
Yeah, you don't have the energy.
Now you gotta keep it up.
You don't have the energy.
Now you already you burned yourself out trying to get noticed. Now you got noticed. Now you gotta, this is what people expect. Where's my video at? My 3rd video today. It's only Wednesday. Yeah. Where we at?
And I'm really glad we're doing this topic because we need a lot more of this. We live in such a space where there's so much podcast, there's so much YouTube, there's so much motivational speeches about the very thing that we're talking about as far as grind culture and do, and people need to hear that other side of that. And it's important to spew out those messages and to tell people it's okay to stay on task, but not to fall into this ditch of almost killing yourself to receive content or to put a piece of artwork out there. It's okay to hear what we're saying.
Yeah, it's like you can have your goal in your mind. You ain't got to race to it, buddy. Just because, you know what I'm saying, somebody else is doing the same thing as you, or you more talented to them. That'd be the one that kicks, like, for sure.
Yeah.
You know you got way more talent than somebody, but they're working harder than you. And when I say working harder, you just see them on social media more.
Than you.
Or like, that's it. Like, you don't even know that they're working harder. They just post more.
They're working at an excessive rate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you don't know what people are using to put out these things. We have AI out now. We have all the ways that progresses people to put out things at a vast, pace, and they're not doing it by themselves. People think like, oh, they're putting out so much. Half of those people, they already out at a party. Their work is working by them.
I'm telling you.
So it's, you don't know what people have going, on the other side. The grass isn't always greener, and I always say that a lot. People have the grass is greener concept, and water your own grass.
Exactly.
Don't worry about the grass, that grass over there and the flowers just growing over there. Just worry about your space, and it'll come to you.
Your own story. I'll pull back the curtain a little bit just for y'all. All the posts you see we post is AI. Mm-hmm. We film maybe like 3-4 episodes at a time, once a month. New Chronicle, like, we talk about a lot of things. Now, I can't say like it's a lot of things that's going to happen, it's going to come, but there's like first half of the year is just just us like working together, getting some videos out, but it's not as it's not as much people, as you think. Really. I ain't even gonna lie.
And it's like them. It's so funny how people think about it. Because when I post certain things, they're like, "Oh my god, it's so great!" Like, that's AI, y'all. It's okay. But like, because it helps the process. Like, I already did the hard work. I already did the video. I already did the editing. I'm not about to do the caption too. AI can do
caption and then posting like twice a day. Like,
people be like, "Oh my god, how did you do that?" It's not me. But that's letting people know that. If we're saying that, imagine like the people you look up to the most. Think about what is not even in their control. Mm-hmm. Think about what they're not even, in the forefront of what they have going on. They're not even doing it themselves. So don't always compare yourself or see the light or see like, oh my gosh, they're doing this. No.
Like, I see you, bro. You working.
People also have a system and they have a team and they have people behind them. So you never know.
You never know. I'm glad we like told them the truth a little bit. Yeah. But like, it's just like,
no, but that's honesty. Even if jobs will tell you themselves. If you're applying for a job or whatever, they'll tell you, oh, we use AI or we use places, things, environments that embrace systems. Let's just say that they embrace systems to help it make themselves it easier. The job easier, so we can move on to the next thing and move on to the next thing.
Don't get me wrong, we work. Yeah. We come together. We have meetings. We implement ideas. Yeah. We definitely get it together, but we're not grinding.
No, we have a system.
Because I just feel like that's very unhealthy. Yeah. It's super unhealthy. And it's the origin of it is comparison. Yeah. And I don't think people need that. Like, I just, be your own person, be your own entity. Yeah. And just not focus on, don't look to your left and your right, because you're going to run your race and you're going to meet the finish when you meet the finish. Yeah. And if it's really meant for you, we loop it back to purpose, passion, hobby. If it's really meant for you, you will reap the rewards, 1,000%, and it's going to be there when you really appreciate it. It's not you working harder. I mean, you working faster.
Faster. It's not going to get it faster.
It's not going to make you get there faster. No. You know what I'm saying? You can look at someone else's method. We brought up DDG this episode. You can look at how he did things. You can look at how Kai Cenat does things. You can look at how anybody else does things. And you be like, all right, I'm going to replicate that. Just your luck, they don't switch the game up. Yeah. Like, that method's patched, that's what they say. Or like, just like, it don't work the same anymore.
Or it don't work for you how it works for them.
Yeah. Like, you just got to find what works for you and do it. But do not overwork yourself. No. Please don't.
And that's in anything. Creatively, in a job. Just don't overwork yourself. We get one life. We get one opportunity to kind of live the life that we're supposed to live. And we need you. People need you. They need us. We need to be fully prepared, ready, energized, and here and present for these moments. So when you do get your accolades and you do get, it's not even about accolades. When you get where you want to be present. You want to be here. You don't want to be... Yeah, your body, your shell is here, but you're somewhere else. Like, yeah. So,
how do you feel about that phrase, sleep is for the weak or sleep is for the dead?
I think I said that before. I don't like that phrase. It's no dig. I think I heard Steve Harvey say that one day, and I was like, that's so stupid. Why did he say that? He was like, you know why, rich people get to where they want. They sleep. And I'm like, why are you spreading that? And that's what I'm saying. People spread certain things, and it's just like, now, thank you. Now all of your audience just took that home with them.
Mm-hmm.
So
they didn't hear nothing else that whole speech, but that.
Yeah.
That's the thing that got clipped, went viral.
Like, yeah, okay, you should wake up a little earlier sometimes to see what that looks like. Or if you're always waking up earlier, just maybe see what the staying up a little later looks like. I don't know, but I think that is very unhealthy. Sleep is important. That your brain needs rest, your mind needs rest, and how are you going to get that if you're constantly running on empty?
On fumes, yeah, for sure.
So I don't like that.
I like sleep. No, I think it's super.
I love sleep. So please.
No, definitely. So just as a close, we just said all that to say, like, I feel like people glorify grind culture like this is the end all be all, like you have to work hard. And I'm not saying like that won't provide results.
Yeah.
But like it's just like I said, like we said before, the act of grinding like two metals together, it mutilates it. It changes it. And it's like and then I just feel like it will take the joy out of it ASAP. Yeah. Because now your joy is less on what you're creating and more on results, the goal.
Yeah.
You're grinding to a goal. Yeah. You're grinding to become famous. You're grinding to get this and get that, this lifestyle. So now that is what your joy comes out of. That's what your dopamine comes from. When you get that, I got my YouTube plaque. Boom, 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 like whatever.
Yeah.
And it's less about creating for the joy of it. You're creating for numbers. Now you're creating to get you to that goal.
And once that happens, once things become a chore to you, that's when you shouldn't do them. Because you're not doing it for the sake of fun or creative or passion. You're doing it because you're trying to gain the next pinnacle.
Wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly.
So I feel like we should definitely embrace and glorify balance. And let's leave grind culture out, or as much as we can. It's very hard because grind culture is everywhere. Grind culture is everywhere. And not even, it's in, different areas of work and, being a doctor or being a lawyer, being a hairstylist or being a teacher. Grind culture is going to be forever present in everybody's ecosystem. Yeah. But let's try to lessen it really a lot more. So, we can show up more present for ourselves.
Yes, definitely. Like grind for yourself, like for the sake of discipline. Let's say I'm a very undisciplined person, procrastinating person. Put it in your mindset like, all right, I'm going to get this video done this week. Boom, boom. Work hard. I'm going to post 5 times on social media this week. Grind for yourself. Do not grind for, to keep up with everyone else is. Like for your own, your own self. I feel like that would be way more fulfilling. Yeah. Definitely.
So everybody out there, make sure, hopefully you took something away from this video that you can apply, maybe note take. I definitely did take some things for myself or that I can pass along to other people. And, hopefully that we can like lessen this and it can stop or it can, subsidize itself. But if you want to keep this conversation going, let us know how you feel about grind culture in the comments. And I don't know, anything you want to close out with saying?
Not really. I think we said a lot. I think we can dip into our fast 5 or final 5.
Oh, we forgot all about that.
Yeah. Look at me. No. I know. We can dip into our final 5.
We were so into it, we forgot about the final 5. I'm ready to close out the video.
I'm grinding through the video.
Oh.
Nah, we can dip into our final 5. So for me, in this episode, my final 5 is a recap of the last sentence I just said.
Okay.
Grind for you, not them.
Okay.
Nice and fine. Grind for you, not them.
Okay.
Nice and fine, succinct, straight to the point. Just not for nobody else, nobody else's eyes, no one else's opinion, no one else's perspective of you. Grind for yourself, for your own personal goals, your own discipline, because you know yourself. You can get a little lazy. You can get a little procrastinating, a little bit like that. Grind for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like at the end of the day, the results will be worth it because the goalposts don't move. If it's for you, I'm grinding for them, like now their expectations different. Or now they think, now the goalpost moves and now it's like, posting 5 times on social media is whack. You need to post 10. Now the goalpost moves and you can't control it. Now you got to overexert yourself even more. Yep. Like, grind for you, not them. That's my final 5.
And mine's coincides with yours. It is going to be prepare yourself for the moment. What?
That's hard. I had to count all
Oh,
5. Yeah, no, that was good.
Prepare yourself for the moment is my final 5. And it just wraps it up in a bow. You know, I say that often, but it does, because it's just like, don't think about who's on, you know, the left and the right and in front of you and behind you. Prepare yourself for the moment. Don't go so fast, because you're going to miss it. You're going to go, like, life already goes by so fast. You're trying to move life already, like you're saying, moving the goalposts so fast. You might have missed your moment. You might have missed your mark. So prepare yourself. Instead of trying to do like this, take your time. Maybe do like this, or however your speed duration is. Prepare yourself. You know, I'm really big on God, and I'm always, you know, asking God for, you know, certain things, but I also got to prepare myself for said things. So make sure the things that you want, prepare yourself for the moment. So I
like that. You know, you just laid that out pretty perfectly. Yeah, I feel like you prepared yourself for that. Oh, But I'm so glad you guys decided to tune into this episode with us. You know, just breaking down grind culture. You know what's crazy? I feel like we still going to name this episode "Why Not Grind," so it gets the people who, oh yeah, why not grind? They're gonna click this episode and be like,
"It's a good marketing."
You right, got a point. Yeah, like really, just like. What? Like, why are you racing to keep up with people? Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, if I'm not working hard, if I'm not getting better, somebody else getting better. True concept. True concept. But trust in what you was given. You know what I'm saying? Trusting what you have in your heart, trusting your talent, trusting with the gifts that was given to you. So it's
like they never read The Tortoise and the Hare before. Like, y'all read that book. Come on. I need you to take from that book. If you go back to read that book. You know, stop trying to live life and
keep up with them, man. Like, they fizzle out here tomorrow, here today. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, true art lasts. True, authentic art lasts.
Yep, authentic.
Yes, definitely so much. But make sure you follow their Instagram. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, share this to anybody you feel like still caught up in grind culture. You know what I'm saying? Let us know any other topics you want us to explore, expand upon, or just, you know, dissect. Let us know any guests who wants to come on the podcast. We welcome to have them here. And I've been Rahmere.
I've been Sen.
You know what I'm saying? And we'll see you next time.
Bye.